1 propeller, 2 propeller, 3 propeller. From a small startup in 1997, the Propeller Brewing Company can now produce 600 cases of beer a day.
There's no great magic, I have to say. I don't want to disabuse the public of something, but there's no great magic. You take malt, malted grains, you soak it in hot water, you boil the extract with hops, and you ferment.
Thank God for fermentation. That's what I say.
Keeping up with demand is a challenge. More vats are being added all the time. A new advanced bottling line will soon be installed. Propeller has 6 different lines, plus seasonal beers and sodas. The motto here is, we only make beer we want to drink ourselves.
We're a non-adjunct brewery, meaning we don't use corn, rice, dextrose, or any of that kind of stuff. I'm saying there's nothing wrong with it. We just choose not to. We just stick with the German purity law, which is only malted barley, hops, yeast, and water. You can use wheat as well. That's allowed as well, because a lot of our beers have wheat in it. But it's pretty straightforward, 4 ingredients. I think we usually use 4 ingredients because most of us can't count to 5. So.
These brewmasters are dedicated to perfecting the Propeller taste.
It's just a combination of everything. They're full-bodied, they're well-hopped, they're moderately carbonated, and they have the yeast character that comes through, which you will know our beer versus any of the other micros that are on tap. For the locals, certainly, who are drinkers, certainly have learned to appreciate that.
Growing from 2 to 22 employees in 13 years, Propeller Brewing Company is now the 2nd largest microbrewery in Atlantic Canada. An essential ingredient for success, consistency.
I always use the joke or the comparison to wine. Wine is extremely easy to make because you just rely on what nature gives you, and that's what you're going to get. But if somebody's drinking Propeller Bitter, they want it to taste the same it does in January as it does in July, as it does in October, as it tastes in Truro, as it tastes in Halifax. Beer has to be consistent from glass to glass. It's not afforded the opportunity to be different like a Merlot or something that can change as the grape in the season. So we have to make sure our malted barley is the same every year, and if it's not, we have to adjust for it. Our hop rates have to be this. You have to be very consistent. Beer production is about consistency, for sure.
Another key ingredient, local customers. They like the minimal packaging option of the growler, and they like to support a local product.
I think we always had people who appreciate that we're local, that we're here on Gottingen Street in Halifax, and we have our own store here. We have a busy retail store, so we're face to face with an awful lot of our customers.
That comfortable style is reflective of this workplace.
It's hard work. But you have to be a team player. If you're not a team player, you won't survive here. Because you have to be able to do a little bit of everything all over the place at any given time to keep up with demand. So that's what I'm saying. We don't really have titles here. Everybody just pitches in anywhere, from president through to store person, to anywhere, retail, in production, kegs. Everybody helps out everywhere.
Don Harms was in at the start of the microbrewery movement right from the beginning. He's an Albertan, and he could work anywhere. He chooses to work in Nova Scotia.
I've been in this business for 22 years, and I've never woken up and not be excited about going to my job.
The reason people come back here is because they miss it. And as I did, I worked in Toronto in the film business for a while. Always wanted to come back, and kept the house, moved back, and I think that being here offers a lot.
In Halifax, I'm Barb Anderson for Eastlink Magazine.
Watch Eastlink Magazine. You'll be glad you did.
Proudly brought to you by Nova Scotia. Come to life.